both of these sides are held in really high regard across Super League. They're a danger to all.
Max Shine about to get us underway here. Wakefield against St Helens, live from the Betfred Super League. And Max Shite's right boot gets us underway. And here come Saints, who've already beaten Wakefield twice this year. The feeling amongst Wakefield fans, I was speaking to earlier, John, was that St Helens really are the only team that have caused Wakefield problems over 2 games.
Yeah, look, and I bumped into Darryl Powell, the Wakefield coach, earlier on this evening, and he said exactly the same thing. It's the one team they've not quite got it right against so far this season, and they're hoping to make amends tonight.
Yeah, it's worth remembering they met twice in the opening 7 rounds, and I think Wakefield have progressed despite missing several key bodies they have built since that opening. Here's Moses and Bai, preferred to George Whitby, kicks downfield, and here's Jaden Myers with an early touch. He scampers across the field of play, and he's picked up 30 out from the line.
Yeah, really exciting young talent, isn't he? Just making his way in the absence of Tom Johnston, who's out with a groin injury at the moment. Really efficient first set for Saints, but the kick wasn't up to much, was it, at the end of that from Moses and Bai?
No, it wasn't. You mentioned Tom Johnston. Darryl Powell hoping he'll be back in a couple of weeks. There are the 2 head-to-head meetings. St Helens scoring 26 points on both occasions. It's worth bearing in mind in that 26-14 meeting in round 7, they were 26-0 up at one point. So tough night for Wakefield, but one in which their hopes are once again high, as Hood, who missed the win over Leeds through illness, gets it away. Here's Truman.
Just a little flat-footed from Wakefield. Just in that first set.
Here's Mason Lino, sends it high. Over on the far side is Dagnall. He'll collect it on the full, and he looks to bring it back at pace, but it's a good chase from Wakefield.
And there's another young winger who's really making his way. Broken into the first team. He came in through injury, and he's not been out the side since. So 2 real talents on the respective sides on the wings this evening. And
it's an interesting conundrum. You mentioned Tristan Saylor's form at fullback. I think, look, when Wellesby had he come back a couple of months ago, it'd probably put Saylor on the wing, but he doesn't seem to have that luxury now because Dagnall's playing so well. Yeah,
I think it's a problem that he'd like to have. It's the alternate headache that he had previously in the season.
Yeah, well, it's a problem he's going to have soon, I think. Jack Wellesby not too far away. Here is Darryl Clark, 400th career appearance tonight. And Bai sends it high. Jowett Brave went and collected on the full. That's a great catch there. That could have gone wrong for Jowett, but his confidence is high, and it's a good grab.
Yeah, terrific take, and really positive as well. That's what you want from your fullback as well. When the ball squirrels over the top of the defensive line, you know you've got someone like this man behind in a really positive forward contribution to take the ball.
Yeah, that could have gone wrong. He got there on the full. Here's Jay Pitts. Turns and spins over the halfway line. Hood waits and gets it away to McMeekin. McMeekin barges his way up to the 30. And he's calling for a penalty, and he's going to get one as well, Mike McMeekin. Knowles and Lee's involved in the tackle, but unfairly, says our referee Liam Moore.
Yeah, such an engine on him, Mike McMeekin. He's right in the thick of things and has spearheaded this pack for Wakefield. You're right, I think he's not just one of the best signings Wakefield have made for some time, but I think in terms of the 2025 movements leading into the season, the one that really caught everybody's eye was his transfer from the Catalan Dragons to Wakefield. So, early look at the Saints line from Wakefield.
Yeah, here's Lino, gets it away to Pitts. Pitts with a little step, 15 out. First real chance for either side then. Hood finds Fartilli. Fartilli bounces off one. Can't quite get in the 10. The Wakefield crowd making themselves heard. As the ball now swings to Truman. Short pass to Griffin. And body's out the back there, Wakefield, but they're tackled.
They like to attack from here as well. Open the field up nicely.
Here's Truman. Drops it back for Pitts. Pitts with that spin. Inside the 10. Wakefield plotting. Truman to the left. Hood goes along. This would have been a walk-in. But I think it's an incorrect play of the ball. And Wakefield are denied a certain try.
Oh, there's a mistake made in the defensive line for St Helens, but their blushes have been spared. Jay Pitts has not got up and regained his feet or regained control of his body before he's played that ball. Ooh, early let-off for Saints.
Yeah, they've got away with one there. Saints have been so good defensively. Here's Robertson. He's tackled just outside the 20. Clark finds Saylor. Gets a great offload, finds Clark again. Clark's got runners with him. Towards halfway. Meakin meets him, two former Castleford players on the halfway line. Knowles finds Mbai. Finds Saylor into the line. Danger here. Ball around the corner was touched by Walmsley. That's 6 again. Good play again from Tristan Saylor. Another set then for Saints. Mbai had to wait for the pass. Gets it to Walmsley. Clark finds Knowles. Knowles digs into the line, feeds it to Lees. Lees pumps his legs. 20 away. So Saints have just survived at one end and now getting a chance at the other here. They're coming now to this near side. Lomax hangs onto it. Lomax gets through the line. And Jowett comes up with a try saver. 5 off the line. Tackle that had to be made and was made. Here's Saylor. Gets it away now. Finds Darryl Clark. Clark finds Knowles. Knowles to Walmsley. He's going to stroll in. The big fella's over. Alex Walmsley hurls the ball in the corporate boxes. He enjoyed that one, the big fella. And Saints do make Wakefield pay. 4 points to nil.
Yeah, and it's the pre-line work that's undone Wakefield. It was a set of 6 that really had a great deal of tempo about it from the visiting side. Wakefield always on the back foot. 6 again given away. And it's worth taking a look at the work Morgan Knowles does. To say he's an underrated player is daft, because he's an international standard, one of the best players Saints have had in a long, long time. But he still continues to surprise. He's known as a workhorse, but I tell you what, they're great hands. And Alex Walmsley through a yawning gap, and that'll be an early concern. It'll be a point of concern for the Wakefield side, and particularly the Wakefield coaching staff, just how easily Alex Walmsley was able to burst through and open the scoring for the Saints. Look at that pass again. Really caught Staunton off guard. And Walmsley celebrates like a good one. He launched that about 40 metres into third tier.
Yeah, hopefully he didn't knock anyone's drink over.
It's the worst thing you could do in Yorkshire, that, isn't it?
He won't be too bothered. Started his career down at Batley, didn't he? Just down the road. Here's Kyle Felt. Started somewhat further afield, over 200 NRL appearances with the Cowboys. 60% with the goals. He'll fancy this one, though. And he makes no mistake. 6 points to nil in favour of St Helens. They had a scare at one end, John, but they've gone up the other end and scored it the first time.
And they made sure that Wakefield could never settle into any kind of rhythm defensively. Everything was quick. Everything was too much of a problem. They couldn't slow it down. They got defenders sat on their heels. And so it's essentially let the ball do the work. That was the order of the day from Morgan Knowles. Alex Walmsley went through with barely a hand laid on him.
So Wakefield will start again with Jowett. There's Darryl Powell, plenty of food for thought for him. And the ball collected. And here goes the try scorer Walmsley. Big run, puts Lino on his backside. And Saints looking to play fast here. They huffed and puffed a little bit in attack last week. They had a really good first half against Castleford, were kept at bay for long spells second half, and I think their attack is the one big question we've got about this Saints team at the minute. Yeah,
what they do is continually put themselves in good positions. The energy that they put in, everything's over the advantage line. Really challenge you. Some pre-line stuff again, and Walmsley again eating up the meters.
Yeah, certainly is. There's a ball now inside Wakefield half, and Bai gets the kick away. Lachlan Walmsley drops back, collects it, looks to spring forward, but he's wrapped up 20 off his own line. Good set on the back of points from Saints.
If Wakefield don't want to spend the entire first half rinsing and repeating this process now, in your own 20, working it out from a corner, carrying into a set defensive line, they've really got to put the brakes on St Helens. They've really got to get more men in the tackle. First contact is really, really important in early phases of the game against Saints.
There goes Myers, wrapped up by Sirinen, but that was unfair, says the referee. High tackle, and that will help Wakefield out of a spot of trouble.
Yeah, the second penalty that St Helens have given away. Jaden Myers is back to his feet, but he hasn't come out of that unscathed. It's just an awkward-looking connection, wasn't it, from Sirinen?
Yeah. Tom Grant, our video referee tonight, but we play on with the penalty that's kicked high, and it's a good 30 metres downfield, just what Wakefield needed. Here they go now with Staunton. Been out of the side for a few months, hasn't he? Just his third game back. He's in good form as well, the former Hull KR man prior to that injury. Here's Fartilli. Well met there by Lomax. Liam Hood in at dummy half, picks up, gets it to Truman. Out the back he goes to Jowett, short pass to Pratt. What a tackle. What a shot there from Kyle Felt.
This far, no further from Kyle Felt. Sit down.
Yeah, great shot. Here's Truman, gets it away to Pitts. Short pass, McMeekin won't thank him for that one, but he held on anyway. The Wakefield skipper, centre field, 30 out from the line. Ball now will work its way with Hood, finds Fartilli. Good work from Hood. Can Fartilli get an offload away? He can't. Eventually succumbs in the tackle. They're inside the 20. Hood going to Lino. Lino's going to hoist the kick out wide. Walmsley trying to get above Dagnall. Dagnall collects it, could be going into touch. He does. Great voice, a penalty. Late call there. A late call there from the referee. Wakefield are not happy with that at all.
Yeah, at first glance watching that live, it did look like it was part of the mechanics of that tackle, but Wakefield
stay behind, please, boys.
Choosing not to challenge the outcome of that, and Moses Mbai gets to clear St Helens lines. So a moment that raises the heartbeats of the sizable travelling support from St Helens. And this did look at first glance like it was all part of the movement of the same tackle, but the referee has adjudged that there's a second shove there once the player's been held.
It's always a tight call, those types of incidents. Saints' kick didn't get them too far away. It was that close to the sideline. Walmsley again. This time gets rid of Hood. Harold Clark waits. And now we'll get it away. Good shot there from Wakefield. Trying to limit the meters. Saints with that early advantage. Here now is Lomax. Gets it away to Saylor. Gets it to Robertson, but the edge jams in. Myers gets his man. Last one for Saints. Pressure on and by. Kicks high. It's a midfield bomb. And Wakefield going to let this bounce. It might not bounce because Dagnall's collected it. Support all around him. And in goes Saints. Knowles under the post. Well, the kick was not what Wakefield expected. They're all left it to each other. And Dagnall picks their pockets. Knowles under the post. Saints lead by 10.
Oh, well, it was a kick to nothing. I think Wakefield had done so well in that set of 6. We said about the first contact, really trying to limit meters was priority number 1. Well, priority number 2 when Moses Mbai gets the kick away is, look, you've got to secure that. It did drop in an awkward place. Max Jowett felt like he had too much distance to cover. We'd seen how positively he'd attacked a kick in the first couple of minutes. But Alex Walmsley looked for a minute to have gone for it and then backed out. This is the other end of the field. This is how that passage of play started. That was adjudged to be a second involvement. And from there, it was a nothing kick, really. Half-decent kick pressure, but it drops in an area of the field. You can see Walmsley backs out, and the kick was taken by Dagnall, who has Morgan Knowles in support. And there is a captain's challenge, Mark.
Tom, we have a captain's challenge.
Well, maybe they're looking. Let's listen to our referee here.
They're claiming there's an offside chaser in the build-up.
Okay, so captain challenge from Wakefield. They're challenging the on-field rule of a try. They're claiming there is an offside player in the build-up from the kick. So we pause the ball on the foot. So we can see everybody to the left of the kicker is onside. There are players off to the right, but let's track them through. So you can play from this point. So we know everybody's onside to the left. Found at this point, so the ball's caught. Play through towards grounding. The ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Well, I've got to query the challenge there. If I guess there was only potentially one Saints player offside, I'd go back John, and I think Wakefield have missed a trick here. We've just seen a replay. I just wonder if Dagnall was already in touch before that extra shove. I wonder whether they should have challenged that one and not the one they have just challenged. They've lost their challenge and the try stands.
Yeah, it's blown up in the first quarter and hour of the game for Wakefield. Yeah, didn't challenge when perhaps they should have done the other end of the field. And as Kyle Felt knocks over the extras to make it 12 points to 0, they're nearly keeping up with the clock mark. They do burn a challenge. They're one and only when you've got to be certain, you've got to be really sure there was a player demonstrably, visibly offside. And, you know, whilst that's tight, I don't think you can say definitively that anybody was ahead of the kicker there. Owen Dagnall does really well, and then Morgan Knowles in support, and it's 2 converted tries to 0.
12-0. Walmsley felt he couldn't get there, and when he made that hesitation, great skill from Dagnall, and Knowles in support. Dream start for Saints here. 12 points to 0 up inside 14 minutes. But the power of the challenge wasted by Wakefield, it feels. And that could have been a penalty. The referee had a look at it and said no. Wakefield just looking to stop the flow of St Helens points here. Short pass. Good run from Sirinen.
Move! Up now! Hold!
Here's Clark working the short side. Tries to take the meters on offer, and he's over the halfway line, Darryl Clark.
5.
Former man of steel.
Trapped in.
Last one here.
Hold them in. 5.
Saints told to get on with it, and Bye will kick.
Al, you're off.
More orthodox this time. Jowett waits, Sailor's after him, gets away from Sailor but can't get away from the second tackler, and that was Percival.
Yeah, good footwork to evade Sailor. Percival nails his man though, and again it is that rinse and repeat. Wakefield find themselves battling to get out of their own 20.
Not the best pass to Myers, who did well to hang on to that, but his momentum stopped. He's actually done really well there, Jaden Myers. Some good post-contact meters. 30 off the line. Here now goes Pratt, who's hit hard. This Saints defence, it's brutal at times. And now the kick downfield, a possible 40-20 with a really big bounce, but they don't get one. Sailor's back. In the end, he'll collect it on his own line. It's a really good kick. What's the chase like for Wakefield? It's not too bad. They'll have taken that outcome at the start of that set.
Yeah, Sailor had to get on his bike, didn't he? He's got a really good knack of getting in between players, Sailor. So even at that point against a defensive line that was honing down on him, he managed to get in between 2 Wakefield defenders.
Here's Felt. I think Truman was called offside. They backed off, didn't they, out of the tackle. Here comes Saints. They've got an overlap here. Lomax tried to slice his way through.
Just too quick for them at the moment, Wakefield.
Yeah. Here's Mbai. Well, his runner got in his way, Delaney, so he offloads it back to Knowles. And he'll take the tackle. Tackle 5, just short of halfway here. And here now is Mbai again. Gets the kick away. Jowett will collect on the full. He'll give it to Walmsley. And Lachlan Walmsley will bring it up to the 20. Taken off his feet. What a shot from Sirinen and Leeds.
Absolutely hammered by 2 big men.
2. Move!
This is brutal stuff. Really is from this St Helens defence. Wakefield trying to edge their way forward. Ball now gets it to Pitts. Well, we saw last night Lee got off to a flying start against Leeds, but couldn't go on with it. Wakefield have just got to stay in the grind here. Truman finds Jowett. Miss out pass finds Myers. Myers has to cut back in. He gets past 1, almost got past 2. Last one inside the 40. Can Wakefield produce something here? Lino is going to send it high. Sailor will come, a wall of white in front of him, but he gets it, and then McMeekin gets Sailor. This is tough and compromising stuff.
Liam, you're off! Liam!
Here's Dagnall, burst of pace, finds Mbai. Mbai was looking for support, he might get it on his outside. They are racing away over towards halfway with Percival. Brilliant from St Helens.
That's really expansive stuff. They missed the marks a couple of times, but when this side clicks into gear, they look dangerous. They look so dangerous.
When they're allowed to play, and they've earned the right to play this quick tonight, they really are bossing it here in all fronts of the game. Clark waits again. 30 out from the line, finds Lomax. Lomax short to Lees. He's taken off his feet. Last one, 20 out. Going to Mbayo's coming back towards Kyle Felt. Myers the target, ball on the ground. Who did it touch? It's play on. Wakefield have got it. And Pratt was looking to offload it there inside his 30, but Wakefield get the ball back.
First man on the scene, Oliver Pratt. Had a real breakout season, hasn't he, for Wakefield? 10 metres as well, 10 really valuable metres to start the set.
This has been a great watch for the neutral so far. Can Wakefield come up with the answers? Some pretty serious questions being asked here by Saints. Hood gets it to Pitts, finds Lino. Lino back on the angle to Staunton. He offloads it to Lino, juggles with it but keeps possession. Drops the ball back inside, and here now, forward goes Tony. Big run from him. But he was impressive against Leeds as a sub a couple of weeks ago, and that's a good first introduction from him. Ball now here with Lino. Lino short to Staunton, trying to get over the top of Mbaye, looking to offload. Oh, he did, but it went forward. And Saints will get it back. Another big shot goes in, this time from Hood. Unfortunate there for Wakefield, but Saints come up with the answers defensively. Just get the feeling tonight St Helens are going to chance their arm. They're going to come up with something special.
They're laying a perfect platform, aren't they? They've been really dominant with the carries. Very, very few times you've seen them get bent backwards.
Here's Delaney.
It's probably the best example of Wakefield slowing it down. Delaney slow to his feet, takes the wind out of Saints' sails a little.
Short pass to Sirenen, forward, says the referee. You're right in line with that, John.
Well, that's exactly what Wakefield need to do. They've got to try and put the handbrake a little bit on what Saints are doing. If they're rolling downfield and everything's in sync, if you break that tempo and interrupt that tempo with a good defensive effort, you can sometimes get errors off the back of that. On this occasion, it was Moses Mbaye. The pass to Curtis Sirenen was forward, and another reprieve for Wakefield.
It's like we said last night, Leeds set off a million miles an hour, 2 early tries against Leeds. Leeds stuck with them, and that's what Wakefield have got to do here, isn't it?
So they're set for set, getting the grind. I doubt there's many teams better in Super League than doing that.
Warrington 6, Wigan 6. Sky Sports action for that one. Warrington led early on. Wigan have just got to score back. Looking to close the gap on Hull Kingston Rovers. And don't forget, next weekend it is Wigan against Hull Kingston Rovers. The battle at the brick. It'll be live on Sky Sports.
Been looking forward to that one for about 2 months now. Huge ramifications to the League Leaders Shield.
Here's Truman. Finds a Tony. Gets the bumpers up, but Saints are all over him.
George, come on, find me. Hold.
Hood waits. Gets it into the hands of Truman. Finds Lino. Lovely way of pass. Gets it away to Corey Hall. Hall wrapped up. Wanted to offload. Nobody to give it to. Plays it now, warms it, set restart for Wakefield, so they get another set here, and a break in the game goes Wakefield's way.
Yeah, they need to be patient though here. They do not want to pull the trigger straight away, and they get away with one there. Miscued pass, but went backwards.
Just over the shoulder of a Tony. Now Hood, centre field. Lees races out. Saints looking to squeeze the life out of this Wakefield attack. 15 away, and Saints really are slowing Wakefield down here. Hood finds Truman. Truman with runners outside him. Where's the support? He wasn't there. Couldn't find Griffin. Well, if there was a white shirt there, that would have been a certain try.
And that's exactly it, isn't it? I mean, Jake Truman, he felt like he had an opportunity. Griffin just couldn't quite get on the end of that. But now Wakefield, they're really applying some pressure. This defensive line has shortened up. The crowd is engaged.
Held onto it and dropped it, he went backwards. His heart was in his mouth there for sure. Wow, that was a big hit, but he held on enough. This is not for the faint-hearted, is it, this one?
Move! Hands on the rock!
Yeah, what about that for a shot? on Percival. Unorthodox, I think you could say, from Lino and McMeekin.
Last one. They're going to have to kick from deep within their own half. It's a swirling kick. Myers, oh, he had to think. He had to think. Oh, there's going to be a try here. Felt can collect it. Felt hangs forward. Did Pratt pull him back? Flick pass out the back. There's still Calero. They knock it on. Wow, but it's going to be a penalty. I did feel that Pratt held back the St Helens player there. Well, there'll be more retribution for this, I'm not sure.
We've got 2 tackle at the balls here.
Well, there could be 2 potential incidents. I think someone could be going in the bin here.
Yeah. Relax. Yeah, I want to look at the second one, please, Tom. Yeah, there's a pull back on Kyle. Trying to confirm who it is. Just relax, yeah. Ollie! Mate. It's a try-scoring position. It's a try-scoring position from a break, and you're pulling back off the ball. That's 10 minutes, mate. No. Professional foul.
So Ollie Pratt is sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes here. They protested on the field, John, but there was infringement there from Wakefield.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to complain about. Saints will take an easy 2 here and put themselves 3 scores ahead. It's a real issue now, this, for Wakefield. There'll be a man short in the defensive line. This ball really just died on Jaden Myers. He had a tight spiral on it and dropped out the air like a stone. That's the first pullback on Harry Robertson. And as if that wasn't enough, he has another crack, this time at Kyle Felt. And St Helens, well, they were determined not to score. I feel for Myers. The ball moved and died in front of him.
The problem is, and again, it's probably not the greatest kick from and by, and that's the second time Saints have actually benefited from it, because the Wakefield back 3 are back expecting a big kick, and they've not had that to deal with.
Alternatively, it could be really intelligent work from Moses and By.
It was a really awkward kick.
They found an area of the field that nobody can get to on the full, but it really dropped out the sky, did that.
Here's Kyle Felt. Will strike that one straight through the middle, and it is Saints who lead by 14 points to 0. But Saints ruthless whenever they're getting an opportunity at the moment. They are taking it, and they lead by 14, and Pratt is on the naughty step for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is going to be a real crucial period now for Wakefield. They're a man down. They've been struggling with a full complement in that defensive line, and that's credit to St Helens. I think they've come out of the blocks here. They've turned it up. They've rattled into Wakefield with ball and in defence.
So much more rugby league coming. Lots of NRLW action over the weekend. It all starts early hours tomorrow morning. You can watch it all on the Sky Sports platform. Also got the Dolphins take on the Roosters, 8:30 Sky Sports Plus and Sky Sports action. And the Bulldogs against the Warriors, 10:35 AM on Sky Sports Mix and Sky Sports Action. Saints then leading by 14. And once again, proving to be a real problem for this Wakefield side. Doubleheader from the Super League tomorrow as well. Here's Robertson's got a 2-on-1, finds Felt, and Felt's away here from Joey. Support on the inside, just tosses it back, and Darryl Clark will wrap up a try on appearance, 400 for him, and Saints are red hot here. This is a statement, an opening 25 minutes to remind everybody that St Helens are right in the mix for the grand final. They lead 18 points to 0.
Love a short side, and Johnny Lomax in particular loves a short side play. Right at the start of this passage, Johnny Lomax got Tristan Saylor, who is known Super League over as a really dangerous runner. I think that just holds the inside pressure off Lomax. See Tristan Saylor on the inside, people won't commit. The natural overlap is there because Oliver Pratt's missing from that centre position. And then Lomax just backs up to Darryl Clark in support. Wasn't a traditional short side, was it? But just that presence of Saylor on the inside, I think, just prevents Wakefield from committing a second or two earlier. Felt down the outside, Lomax to Clark, And Clark, on a marquee night for him, picks up Saints' third try of what has been a blistering first 25-26 minutes of this game. Wakefield haven't had a look in.
They haven't. And Clark, who scored here in round 3, scores again today and presents Kyle Felt with a gift of an opportunity. Well, we expected a really tight contest, but St Helens have been rampant tonight in every facet of the game, and it is now 20 points to nil.
It's been a performance that's really got playoff intensity written all over it. The key is that Wakefield haven't got that message. They're not playing at that same sort of level, and there are Darrell Clark's career appearance, career stats, and that is some ledger to look at. And on top of that, of course, from his debut for Castleford back in 2011, picked up the Young Player of the Year and the Man of Steel, of course, in the same season, didn't he, in 2014. 2019, Lance Todd winner, dream team both of those years. Fantastic career, one of Super League's best hookers for a long, long time. Yeah,
Wakefield looking for anything that can get out of St Helens here. Mentioned last week, Saints were dominant first half against the Castleford Tigers. They've gone up several gears tonight. This has been an impressive opening from them. As here goes Whitley. There's been a pace. There's been an intent about St Helens from the first whistle. And we talk about fine margins. That Truman offload at 12-0 goes to hand. It's 12-6. It is a different game, but if buts and maybes.
Yeah, and some of the decision-making as well from Wakefield. We talked about the non-use and then the use of that captain's challenge as well. But I think they've been outmatched in this department. It's just that willingness to take the line on, dominant.
Here they come again. Saylor this time does run it. They're over the 40, last one. Robertson will find Moses and by. Stems a kick up. Walmsley has a look. Jowett gets off the line and gets hit hard as soon as he collects it.
Yeah, whacked by Whitley, who times it right. And again, Wakefield find themselves in that all too familiar position, locked inside that 20. A set line of defence. Line speed once again from St Helens, and they're getting no change, are they, out the visiting side?
No. This has been a tough opening period, and they come up with another error, and Saints are going to get it back cheaply. And that's what happens when you can't find a way through. You try and look for miracles that are not on.
They've tried to short-circuit the system there, and they've come up short, and now under all sorts of pressure again. And this will be disastrous for Wakefield. St Helens score now. This could be a real problem.
Here now is Mbai. Saylor looking for the ball, might get it on the bounce, gets it away. Robertson, did he fumble that? He did. An error finally from St Helens, but it comes 10 off the Wakefield line.
By my count, the third indiscretion only in the first half hour rugby. 2 penalties given away in defence early doors, bit of indiscipline, and then just a misfire, a miscue in attack. Other than that, this side have been flawless.
They've been very easy on the eye. Still got about 4 minutes here to survive down to 12. Look at that, 64%. And on the other side, 63% completion rate for Wakefield is not going to get it done. And look at the meat, everything is in Saints' favour.
Yeah, the meters of that's been noticeable play-by-play, hasn't it? Just how easily they've been gobbling up the meters, and on the other side of the ball, restricting what Wakefield can offer, the positions that they can get themselves into. And they're just getting whacked. There's another example, but referee Liam Moore says there's another one that's got high, and temperatures have just gone up a notch.
Well, maybe this is what Wakefield need, just to try and get into Saints and disrupt them by hook or by crook, but they weren't happy with the shot of Walmsley, who is thankfully on his feet.
Over there, mate. Over there. Just relax. Over there. Just over there, please. Time's off.
Meakin having his say.
But lads, just take your boys over there and let us deal with it. Yeah. Lads, just
they're having a look at this one upstairs.
Just take your boys over there and we'll sort it.
Tom Grant having a look at this one.
What's that, mate? Just pulling him off. Yeah, no. Hey, be careful what you say.
Now then, And it's the second contact. Is it Delaney?
Yeah.
And that's direct contact there. There's no attempt to wrap. I reckon there's issue here. There's a real issue here for Delaney. Oh dear. Oh dear, Mark. Delaney's in trouble. This could be a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what? You know what doesn't help?
Cheers,
Mark?
mate.
He's left the floor.
Johnny.
Well, I have got a question. Let's hear from our referee here.
Yeah, just let me explain the decision to you. Okay. George approaches the tackle. He is off his feet when he makes contact. He does make contact shoulder to head. There is mitigation that it doesn't meet the threshold for high-level force. That's what saves you from being a red card and bring it down to a sin bin. Okay, mate? 10 minutes.
What's the mitigation?
Can someone explain to me how a player off his feet with direct shoulder contact to the head, what is the mitigation there? There is no mitigation there.
Well,
George Delaney's the luckiest man in this ground. How is that only a yellow card?
We could watch that another 20 times and I'd still come to the same decision. I thought for all money he was in trouble. He was gone for the evening. There is no mitigation. Walmsley is upright, doesn't dip into contact. He comes in with a high degree of force off his feet. Wow.
Move there, Morgan! Hold.
Wow.
That is a dangerous word, mitigation. Without saying what the mitigation is, what is it?
Well, that'd be the first question I'd ask if I was a Wakefield player.
I think George Delaney has got away with one there. It doesn't meet the threshold. Wow.
Well, in which case, what is the threshold?
Wakefield, it is 12 against 12 momentarily here. Can Wakefield use that to their advantage here? Lino gets it away. Staunton out of one. Well, we can only call it as we see it, John. We both saw that and thought that was a red card all day long. Don't like the word mitigation in there, but here come Wakefield. Good hands. Oh, intercept is on. He's got it. He's plucked it out of the air, Kyle Felt. Has he got Velcro on his hands? Wow.
I tell you what, he had go-go gadget arms there, didn't he? I mean, he's got a fair wingspan as Kyle Felt, and that, I think, not only was a try-saver, albeit they've erred off the back of it. Again, a try-saver with a 20-30 metre exchange off the back of it. Let's take another look at the intercept, because I reckon if Felt doesn't get to that, Griffin walks in. Unfortunately for Saints, although Felt does get it downfield, they do knock on at the end of that passage of play. Now Wakefield have got to park all this now. They've got to park the incident, they've got to park the Delaney confusion and take this second error from St Helens and really do something with it.
Wakefield get it back. Look, Saints have been perfect for half an hour. You can't help feel they've just had a little bit of good fortune. Ollie Pratt will be back on shortly. He's under a minute remaining on his sin bin session. Set restart here for Wakefield. Here's Corey Hall celebrating his birthday this week.
Well, Wakefield have introduced Harvey Smith at the base of the ruck here. Hopefully to inject, from Wakefield's perspective, a bit more pace around that ruck. That's a good carry as well.
If they can get one back here, they'll start to believe again. Here's a Tony. They did create an opportunity on their last visit. They've created a couple of opportunities. They've just not been able to ice them. The Tony wrapped up. Gets it away now to Truman. Finds Lino. Ball on the ground. Picked up well by Corey Hall. Did well. Saints all around him, though. Nowhere for him to go. 15 out from the line. Hall wants a quick play of the ball. He claims he's been denied it. Referee tells him to get on with it. And now he's going to say, go back and play it. Ball now in the hands of Kozza. Gets it away to Truman. Short to McMeekin. Trying to load up on this left edge. He's turned away. Last one. Saints defence doing what it's done all night. Keeping Wakefield at arm's length. Ball now to Smith. finds Truman. Truman's got Lino with him. Lino, ball over the top. Walmsley takes it. Oh, it's a flying finish from Walmsley. He's over in the corner. Spectacular stuff. No need for a second look. And Wakefield finally breach what has been a resolute St Helens defence, and that gives the home fans hope.
That is some finish for Walmsley. That really is. When you take a look at this from the corner camera, you'll see just the distance he has to cover. The pass over the top was sensational. Wakefield once again opening the field up, and this time the pieces do fall into place. Truman into the line, and that pass from Mason Lino, an absolute peach. That still took some finishing as well. This angle will show it perfectly. Walmsley on the end of it, and that is a terrific diving finish in the corner. Mason Lino, that pass represents his 20th try assist of the season, the best for Wakefield. And Mason Lino provides it for Lachlan Walmsley, who gets Wakefield on the board. You see they try that again and again and again. They open the field up to the left-hand side. It's their favoured attacking area. Doubling up with Truman and Lino. Truman did a tremendous job there of getting deep into the defensive line. Releasing Lino. One look, assessed the situation, and then found Lachlan Walmsley. Terrific stuff from Wakefield.
This is a tough kick for Max Jowett. Can he claw another two back for Wakefield?
Time back on.
Kick on its way, but the fans are quiet. That means it's the wrong side of the post. But Wakefield do get points on the board, and it was a lovely constructed try.
It really was. It's all the hallmarks of what Wakefield have been doing well. Truman squaring the hips, so Lino, the ball over the top. I think if Owen Dagnall had his time again, he perhaps wouldn't have pulled the trigger defensively so soon. He got himself way out into the backfield. He was anticipating a pass to Max Jowett. Instead, Lino cuts out everybody else and gives it to the Aussie. And he opens the scoring for Wakefield, who, by the way, have got Oliver Pratt back on the field. So the tables are turned in terms of numerical advantage for the next 6 or 7 minutes at least.
Yeah, they're going to get 4 minutes before the break. If they could go back-to-back, then the game is back in the melting pot here. All collected by Lino. It's a good restart, though. Good run, though. Now it's Wakefield who are leaving bodies on the ground.
Class of carry, isn't it?
It's got a bit spicy now, this one. Staunton wrapped up.
Move now! Hit the line, boys. Hit the line now. Track him in. Don't track him, Matty.
Here now the ball into the hands of Griffin. Griffin up towards the 30. Here's McMeekin. He won't take a backward step. Smith in at dummy half, on his bite, away, got support with him. Tried to use that as a decoy. Truman will step in the dummy half position. He'll get it away. Lino going to send up a spiral bomb. Dagnall's underneath it, but takes it. Made that look easy, didn't he, Dagnall? Played the last 7 before tonight. He really is finding his feet now at this level.
Yeah. Remember calling the game against Leeds, I think it was early in the season, one of his first appearances, and looks like he's been in the first team for 5 years and hasn't missed a trick there. Perfect catch, and then foot on the accelerator and took the meters available to him.
Yeah. His catch as well that led to that Morgan Knowles try under the posts. Here's Felt. He barges his way into Wakefield territory. Clark finds Walmsley. Open the scoring inside the opening 6 minutes. Last one and by. Walmsley backpedals. He's going to have to get off the ground here in pressure. Collects it above his head. Unorthodox but effective.
That's brilliant take. Really 100% committed.
There goes Hall trying to break his way through. There's a good catch.
Yeah, it's a fantastic catch. It's just absolutely all in on the catch. Exposes the rib cage and just goes, I'm having this. I don't care what happens to me. And now as a Wakefield player who's suffered.
There's Walmsley, who's down. gets up to his feet and plays the ball. Looks in a bit of discomfort though, Walmsley. Medics having a look at him. Wakefield, 2 minutes left to the break. They'd love a repeat set or something here. Tony steps his way up to halfway. Tackle is made. And the ball now with Lino. He will send it high. Saylor coming to collect it. Saylor gets there. Good take again from him. And Saints look like they're going to see it through to half-time with a 16-point lead, unless they can come up with something special themselves here. Well, 20 points to nil. You think it's game over here, but Wakefield did get that try. Well worked one as well. They're not done just yet. Clark. Saylor in at dummy half. Pops it up for Walmsley. Walmsley. A couple of metres downfield. Last one. And By will again kick out wide. Walmsley backpedals. Looks to have shaken off that bump. He collects it. Looks to bring it back. And he's tackled 25 out. Last 30 seconds, what's been an entertaining first half here. Corey Hall, oh, that was an awful pass. Oh, disaster for Wakefield, and they're saved by the fact that Clark couldn't take it in. Well, Wakefield pushed the envelope, but that was particularly risky.
St Helens are rushing to pack the scrum here as well to get time off, so they're going to have one tackle before the half-time break. And you could, I can kind of understand what Corey Hall was trying there. They did set up and Max Jowett had made himself available. It's just the quality of the pass wasn't there, was it? It was the opportunity for them to attack from deep. We've seen them do it plenty of times this season. But St Helens here, what trick have they got in the book? They've got 6 seconds before the half-time whistle. It's one tackle. What have they got?
Well, here they go. They're going to try and force their way through. Here's Saylor. Saylor looking to get to an edge. He does get to an edge, but he's off the field. It was worth the gamble from Saints' point of view, that is for sure. But their last foray is unsuccessful. But it's one of the few times they have been unsuccessful. Blistering start, saw Walmsley and Knowles racing in the opening 13 minutes. Then Oliver Pratt saw yellow for a professional foul. Felt added the penalty to make it 14-0. Clark scored straight off the restart, 20 points to nil. But then a huge moment of controversy. George Delaney showed yellow. We'll have a look at that in the next few minutes. Lachlan Walmsley, though, got Wakefield on the ball with a wonderful finish.
It's clearly a controversial moment, but we're used to those in Super League, aren't we? What we can say definitively is St Helens put themselves in the driving seat thanks to that blistering start. Wakefield simply couldn't live with them. And Delaney, despite his indiscretion, was at the real heart of that. I think Walmsley, Delaney, Matty Lees, Morgan Knowles have been absolutely ferocious, both sides of the ball. In the driving seat, in the box seat. The question is, with 40 minutes to go, at the halfway mark, what have Wakefield, what have the home side in this packed-out stadium got in response?
Let's find out. Big second half to come. We're back underway. Kyle Felt hoists it high. This is going to be round the back fence. It's gone out on the full. But it looked a big kick. The second it left his boot.
Well, we lost it well above the floodlights. I mean, we know he's got an absolute monster of a boot on him as Kyle Felt. A fairly inauspicious start to the second half. Penalty conceded on a halfway. And a gift, really. A gift for Wakefield. They get themselves in attacking position. They're going to have a full set here. They've got to get on the bike a little bit.
Yeah, but they've still got plenty of time. They don't need to push the panic button yet.
No, they need to change the picture, though. I think they need to change the feeling and the energy in this stadium.
Yeah, Curtis Surinam went off for a HIA at the end of that first half, and he's failed it, so he will not be back tonight for Saints. So they're an interchange down there. So no Surinam. Hopefully nothing serious for him. Tony, who started well, didn't he, off the bench? Here's Smith in at dummy half. Lino swings to the left. He gets it away here now to Truman, finds Jowett. Oh, the ball over the top was on. It's knocked down, and Wakefield come up with an error from a really good attacking opportunity.
Again, it's everything bar the last pass looked really pretty. The way that Mason Lino moved late, and the defence didn't have time to read and adjust, and then just that fired short ball from Max Jowett. Josh Griffin, I must have thought there was no way he was getting the ball. He was almost in contact, wasn't he?
Yeah, it looked like the ball hit him, didn't it, rather than he tried to gather it there. Well, an early reprieve for St Helens there. Now they get the chance to clear their lines. That really would have got the crowd involved, wouldn't it, if Wakefield could have got back within 2 scores. Here's a nice carry. And an error. Well, it was a good carry till he dropped it. Wingfield.
Oh, and he's in trouble as well. Oh dear, he's in trouble.
No, this is not good. This is not nice.
Oh, he's grabbing at the lower leg. It's the ankle or the shin area. It was a strong carry, wasn't it? Oh, he's just got his foot caught. He's got his foot caught and twisted underneath in the mechanics of the tackle. And you just mentioned, didn't you, Suriname failed HIA. Wingfield, these are not the kind of things you can run off easily.
No.
He's in a bit of strife, is the young lad. He's had such a good season as well. He's been asked to play in a number of different positions. He deputised in the hooking role for a while, didn't he? It's maybe a scare more than anything, because he's back on his feet, but he's not moving particularly well. And in fact, no, he's going to be off the side of the field. He can't bear any weight on that leg, can he? Well, that's the picture has changed. We talked about Wakefield needing to change the picture, re-engage this sizable crowd. And St Helens have lost Suriname to a failed HIA. They've lost Wingfield, another edge forward, to what looks like an ankle injury. And that will severely hamper them in the closing stage of this game. Now effectively playing with 15 players. Such a good season, Wingfield. That's a real disappointment to see him going off injured.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't even really assess it. They've just collected him and scooped him off the field. Let's hope he's okay. Darryl Powell and Michael Shenton will be plotting now. Can they use that injury to their advantage? Tony had a bit of a juggle with it. We know they're 16 points behind, but there's a lot of time here, Wakefield. Can they turn it around? We mentioned, didn't we, they were 26-0 down at Saints earlier in the year. They did get 3 tries back on that occasion, but not quite as far in arrears here. Here goes McMeekin. This is a real test now. We find out. We saw them attack well first half, Saints, but there's a knock-on again from Wakefield. Is it a knock-on or incorrect play of the ball? Either way, Wakefield have had 2 goes, and they've turned it over on the second tackle both times.
Yeah, knock-on against McMeekin. It was a good carry, wasn't it? They just need to, there's elements of the game they really need to tidy up. I mean, they've been gifted position twice now in the opening 3 or 4 minutes of this second half. Not able to take advantage. There's hands all over the ball. Do you know what? If they had a challenge up their sleeve, Mark.
Here we go, boys,
I think
please.
he's saying he lost it there, and he looked like it stuck between his knees.
Head in, lads. Head in, please.
Oh, the challenges.
Head down.
What problems they bring.
Shot clock off. Okay, mate. Go on, Johnny. Out! All good.
Ball here then with Saints. Paul Wellens won't be happy to the start to the second half, but he will be happy they've not conceded any points. Here's Percival. Full-blooded carry from him.
Does he do any other kind of carry? I mean, he has been remarkably consistent over his long and glittering career. He absolutely fires himself out of a cannon every single time.
He does. Came up with a few handling errors last week, which was most unlike him. He's been pretty good tonight, and Saints have been pretty good as well. Ball now works its way forward.
And this time Wakefield have been putting the heat on in defence. End of the set here, Saints.
Yeah, and Bai will kick downfield again. Jowett collects it on the full, on his 20, up to the 30. Lomax meets him with Whitley. Here now is Jaden Myers. Must have more and more strapping on his leg every time we see him. He's going backwards at the minute.
Yeah, he was struggling in the first half as well. He came out of a tackle quite early in the game, actually, struggling with a knee issue, and he's clearly deemed to be able to continue, but he doesn't move particularly freely either, does he?
We're at that time of year where everyone's got bumps and bruises. Flicked out the back. Here goes McMeekin. Here goes Lino. It's hot potato stuff here. Finds its way to Corey Hall, who I think will just take the tackle here. Wakefield have got to keep a semblance of composure. Forward they go with a Tony. That's the last one. Smith. They're going to come short side here with Lino. Lino's going to run it, then just chips over the top. Needs to sit down this kick, bounces, and Saylor will collect it. Good footwork, gets him past Walmsley.
He's so consistent with that, isn't he? Always manages to get himself in between or through the first attempted tackle. And again, they find themselves in a corner here, St Helens. Hard work coming up for the visitors.
Ball works its way in field. Here's Knowles.
Free. Move! Back now, Harvey.
Here goes Delaney, back on the field.
Move! Up now!
Interesting what he's made of that in the week. That challenge. Ball over halfway from Saints, who've weathered a little bit of a early storm. Couple of errors put them on the back foot, but now they're back completing. Kick downfield, well gathered again by Jowett. Just dropped to his knee to collect it. Brings it forward. There's a buzz of excitement here. Can Wakefield score the next points?
Good carry. That's a good carry from Pratt. That's a set starter, is that?
It is. Here goes Walmsley up towards the halfway line.
Move! Hold! Hold, Harry. 3 markers.
Ball now.
6 again.
Challenge, set, restart for Wakefield. So right, they get a break. Can they use it? I think Truman had heard the call there. Gets it to McMeekin. Thought about offloading. Then decides to go on his own. Plays it correctly this time. Here now is Truman. Truman with white shirts outside him. Ball over the top. Cuts back inside. He's Myers. He's tackled 10 away. Better from Wakefield, but Saints once again get back and smother the danger. Can they hang on here? Here now is Cozza, finds Lino. Lino looking for an angled run, finds Jowett. He'll have to take the tackle. It just broke down a little bit there for Wakefield.
Now Moses. Hold.
Slow play of the ball. Oh, here's Lino. Everyone was in front of him there. Has to take it, and Atoni does well from a standing start. Up to the 10, last one, they've loaded up. Look at this to the left. Saints have tried desperately. Smith, though, is coming down the short side. Staunton bumps one off. He needs to find a pass. He does find a pass. Finds Hall. Hall gets it away. Lino puts the kick in, but Saylor's there. Oh, Wakefield have won that play again. Smith, it felt, went the wrong way.
They rescued it really well, didn't they? And got it to the right area of the field, but you felt he needed to go through another couple of pairs of hands. I thought Saylor did really well. Covered a lot of ground there. The ball set up nicely from him from Mason Lino's kick, but great positional play from the fullback. Here comes Percival again, another uncompromising carry.
Well, this is the contest I think we were expecting from the off, but Saints were that good. They turned it into a one-sided contest for the opening half an hour. Here's Alex Walmsley. His try got things going, and he's off again. Great carry. Oh, he's off the big man. Dagnall in support. Alex Walmsley. But look what Walmsley gets to Dagnall. Last one here. They've got to get off Wakefield. They can't afford to lose a man to the bin. Ball now to Clark. Clark finds Lomax. Can Saints execute here? Here's Saylor. Puts the kick in behind Myers. It's an awkward kick. They've got a hand on it. They've got it down. Yes, but was Robertson in touch? Referee's going to surely have this one upstairs. Is this a miraculous touchdown from St Helens after that great Alex Walmsley break? Then the only question is, was the Saints player in the field? Referee on field says he was.
It's tackle 5 with a try and field. We're checking onside, offside, then into ground. And so everybody to the right of the kicker is onside. We've got Lomax off to the left. Let's track him. So he stays well out, so we can play through towards grounding now. So we're fine to this point. Collision is fine. So he's in field, The ball appears to be grounding. Just going to check the other angle for confirmation. So we know he's well in field. And the ball is grounded. I've made a decision.
Wow, Harry Robertson. Should call him Harry Houdini Robertson there. He's come up with a magic trick to pick the pocket of Myers. And maybe that just decided the night. St Helens, when they get a chance, they take it. That was brilliant from Saints. The break from Walmsley, and Robertson finishes it off.
Well, listen, first credit to Harry Robertson, never giving up on a play. Jaden Myers, perhaps a little bit of inexperience. If you're going to shield the ball, you've got to make sure you get yourself in between the ball and the attacking player. Just that spatial awareness, just understanding where that attacker is. Speaking of which, what a bullocking run by Alex Walmsley. This was down the opposite channel. They got themselves into a great position, then decided to run it on the last, spun it out. Once it got into the hands of Saylor, he put it on the toe. Walmsley, Robertson rather, checked his run and then just stuck on the outside of Jaden Myers. Look, and every game Jaden Myers plays, this goes for all these kids who are getting blooded this year. You know, every game is a learning game. You've got to keep your wits about you. There's some special players out here in attack.
This is a big kick for Felt. Sends it on the way, and it's waved away. 24 points to 4. But Saints, every chance they get, no wonder Robertson's smiling. Every chance they get, they take.
No, it was a great follow-up on a really clever kick. Turned Myers round. I thought at first, the first couple of steps from Myers, who's struggling with that knee turning, but he actually got himself into a great position and just lost sight of the attacking player, snuck round on the outside. It's just getting yourself a little bit wider left. There's still a bit of distance to travel. Harry Robertson snuck in on the outside.
Tough kick to collect there, was well dealt with by Moses and by Brave. Had to be as well. Well, Wakefield have had chances second half. They haven't converted them. Saints have had one chance and they've scored, and it wasn't even that much of a chance.
Yeah, half a chance. If your opposition team is converting half chances, you've got to be on the money, haven't you? And they haven't been that. It's looked a little rushed, a little panicked at times from Wakefield.
Here is Whitley.
4. Move now! Pass the line, lads. Hold.
Clark poaching out a dummy half up towards the halfway line. A 4-score lead again for Saints. And Bye will kick downfield. It will bounce in front, but it's a kind bounce for Jowett, who's got an ever-growing black eye. He's got a big bruise under his eye.
1. Move, Matty!
And that's just taking a bit of the air out of this crowd here as Pratt carries up to the 30.
2. Move! Just past the line!
Can Wakefield produce a monster comeback? Here's Myers, no way through for him. Reminder that Saints have lost Siranen to a failed HIA and a nasty-looking injury to Jake Wingfield. So they're going to be down on troops in terms of rotations.
Release! 4, give me a step, give me a step.
Jake Burns on the bench as well. Here now is Truman, gets it away to Jowett. Jowett finds quick hands, passes behind Walmsley, and he can't keep it in. It's just not clicking tonight for Wakefield.
You know, and that's, you know, that's scoreboard pressure for you. They feel like they've got an opportunity on an edge, and they've got to pull the trigger. You can't really be patient, can you? 20 points in arrears. You've got to start looking for opportunities. There was half of one there. You're talking about the players missing, and I'm nodding along with you until I realise and going, this is going to really bite St Helens in the last 10-15 minutes of the game. And then you realise that the Matty Lees of the world, the Morgan Knowles of the world, have got engines on them like you wouldn't believe. These are guys capable of doing really big minutes.
Yeah, it was Myers on the far side that couldn't keep the ball in for Wakefield. Here's Ignatius Parsi into the action. 20 points to lead for Saints. And now penalty, Wakefield offside. It's going from bad to worse for Wakefield. LFC fans will be enjoying this because a win now for, as it stands, a win for Hull on Sunday would see them back in the top 6.
Yeah, and you feel like it's going to go to and fro for the next month or so in this competition as we head to the business end of the season. Yeah, clearly offside. Liam Moore, very easy decision. Wakefield made that one for him.
It's Delaney, 30 out. Darryl Clark will wait. Lomax sprints across field, looking to support and buy. They get it to Saylor. Here's Percival. Percival assesses what's in front of him and once again throws himself into the tackle. Surely another score for Saints, and this one's as good as over. Here goes Parsi again. Drives it forward. Clark looking. Options, and By now goes to the right, and By looking to link up, will have to dig into the line himself. Tackle made, 10 out. Ball now. Good defence at marker from Wakefield. One more, they've got to survive though here. Saints looking for more points. Here's Lomax. Lomax with a dummy, he's wrapped up, that'll be the turnover. Wakefield defend it well, it was Griffin with the tackle.
Ooh, and that, do you know what? I think that'll be a frustration for Paul Helens. I was fully expecting the ball to be rolled in there into the in-goal area and Saints to keep ratcheting up that pressure. Lomax decides to run it. Now, it's an important period of the game, this, for Wakefield, because they've really got to post points soon, but they need to do it in a composed way. They cannot just fling the ball here, there, and everywhere. That's a good carry from Kaius Fartili.
They needed that. But tackles at a premium now, end of this set. Ball working its way across to Lino. Lino ducks, just got dragged down. Gets another 5 or 6 metres. Delaney tackles him. The crowd are going crazy again down below us. Here's Kozza. He bends the line, puts his legs. That's a good carry. Well, this is the last one for Wakefield. Time ticking down here. Truman sends it high, but Saylor's well set. Griffin's after him, and they're going to get to him inside the 10. Now they've got to turn the screw defensively here, Wakefield. Yeah,
good kick chase from Griffin and Pratt, who make contact this time. Nowhere for him to go, and they've got Saints pegged in a corner here.
Here goes Robertson. That try a few moments ago. Massive in the context of this match. Saints could close the gap on the top 2. With the running to come, well, they will face 3 of the top 4 around them. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge before we get to the playoffs. Last one for Saints, and By will kick downfield. It will bounce in front of Jowett. Oh, what a touch. I mentioned the Premier League's back. That was a touch of a Premier League centre-half.
Very cute from Max Jowett. Just took all the risk out of it. Jaden Myers now with another carry. Steps, but given nothing by this Saints defence. It's been so resolute, hasn't it? A very, very good element of their game. And I've just cursed them.
You have. They jumped too soon.
So an offside decision against St Helens, the first of the evening actually, offside. Just got a little bit ahead of the referee. Mason Lino punches the ball downfield.
What can Wakefield do from here then? You get the feeling they're now getting to that kind of time where they need some points just to get them back in the contest. Here's Truman, gets it away, ball taken in by Fartili. 15 out from the line. Smith waits at dummy half. Gets it away. McMeekin with a charging run finds Kozza. Good defence again. Knowles there. He's everywhere for St Helens. I do wonder how they're going to replace him next season. Here now the ball with Smith. Finds Mason Lino. Goes to Truman. Short pass and they're in, but there's going to be an obstruction. And once again, Wakefield disappointed.
It's on outside shoulder, goes through. Obstruction.
Yeah, when a player goes through so easily.
He's got to find the space. Yeah, the lead
involved there as a lead runner. Wakefield fans are looking on in consternation. You know, again, the build-up was good, wasn't it? But it's Griffin who goes through and blocks off a Saints defender.
I think it was Whitley, wasn't it? It was imposed. When it looks that too easy, it generally is too easy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Frustrating, really frustrating for Wakefield. Another good position squandered.
Manganar with a tackle on Delaney. Clark gets it away to Moses Mbai, finds Percival. Percival backpedals, then looks for a way forward. He takes some tackling, Percival, but he is brought to ground about 35 out from the line. Ball now to Ignatius Parsi. He carries it forward. Offload, great offload, finds Darryl Clark. Clark with a bit of footwork. He's looking to offload it, fires it to Saylor, goes back to Parsi. Well, two offloads and Parsi ends up back with it. Last one here. They're going short side. Here's Lomax to Saylor. Out wide here. Another try for Saints. Oh, the ball's on the ground. Saylor couldn't quite deliver it, but I think Saints are going to get it back anyway. It might just be a stay of execution here. Wakefield scrambled and keeps Saints out for now.
Yeah, there was an intervention, wasn't there? Kyle felt down the touchline, the ball back on the inside. There's a Wakefield hand that has made contact. It's nice movement from Saylor. The cut-out ball as Myers goes in. And it's Oliver Pratt who's just got fingertips to that. So Saints another full set of 6. And you'd argue this is the most important 60 seconds for Wakefield this evening, because a try conceded here and it's game over.
It is. And that's what the Saints fans, there's quite a lot of them as well down below us here in our gantry position. Another big crowd at Wakefield. But at the moment, it's the home fans who are disappointed as Dagnall couldn't quite get to an edge. Lachlan Worms, he did well there. But they're hanging on, Wakefield. Saints, when they've been given this kind of opportunity, and more often than not come away with points.
Move! Hit the line, back foot line, back foot line.
There's an army of blue away to the right. That's where they're going now with Mbai. Finds Lomax. Lomax, short pass at the line. Well taken in there.
Move, Harvey!
Whitley, I think it is underneath that tackle. Set restart. Here's Parsi. Parsi piling to the line. Held up just out in the field of play, but Wakefield are hanging on here. Are they about to be put out of their misery? They come racing out of the line. Holt doesn't make the tackle. He will do eventually on Percival. These are desperate times, and Wakefield are trying to conjure up the right answers. Here's Morgan Knowles. He'll just go straight for it. Tackled a couple of meters away. Still 3 left in this set. The pressure building on the Trinity line. Ball now finds Mbai. Gets into Lomax. Great read there. Gamble from Truman, and he comes up with a great tackle. They go into that right-hand side again, and Mbai out the back to Saylor. Saylor short. They're running out of room. Wakefield scrambling. Wakefield scrambling. And they'll hold them, but they're in the field of play. Last one. Saints looking to get on the end of this kick that's floated towards the post, collected. Vanganar dropped it backwards, and it's gathered gratefully by Wakefield, who are somehow still clinging onto the ropes.
Oh, and the post has really saved Corey Hall there as well. He's got to the right side of it. I think Wakefield have done really well. 2 full sets of 6 there, pretty much on their own line.
Into the final quarter we go. Wakefield need a monstrous comeback. Saints, their defence that has been miserly for the last couple of months, shows no sign of letting up here. Last one, and they're still inside the 40. They need a big kick here. Something special to get them out of a hole. Lino under pressure. Hits and hopes. Dagnall is there to meet it. leaves it for Saylor. He says to Dagnall, you take it back. He will do at full pace, and he bumps off Truman.
He gets into top gear so quickly, doesn't he? Owen Dagnall. We've spoken about him before this evening. I've been super impressed with his start to life in Super League.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen him a couple of times. Looks like he's just ambling back, and then within 3 strides, he's at full tilt. Look at all this NRLW action over the next couple of days. All the action from the NRLW. You can watch it right here with us on Sky Sports, and a couple of big games as well in the NRL over the weekend. All that to come, as well as the remaining round 21 fixtures in the Super League calendar. Double-header tomorrow. Hull KR take on Castleford, and Huddersfield take on the Dragons. Here's Moses and Bai, sends it high. Jarrett will wait. He's got Knowles in his eye line, and Morgan Knowles doesn't miss many tackles like that. Wakefield need something spectacular. And at the moment, you don't feel they've got it in them.
No, it's really hard to see how they're going to spend any kind of sustained time period in the right area of the field. I think Saints have just been so uncompromising, so unflinching with their defence. And look, this is not something that requires a great deal of skill. It requires a massive engine, great deal of fitness, good communication, and a willingness and an attitude, and Saints are showing that in an absolute bucket loads at the moment.
Truman couldn't get the ball away to Griffin, who was on the rampage. Here's Mason Lino, sends a swirling kick downfield. Saylor's underneath it. He's been everywhere again tonight. Looks to get it away. Finds Felt, who's tackled 25 off his own line. And Saints edging closer. They led 20 points to 4 at half-time. Just the one try second half for Robertson. And here he is on the ball right now. There's a Wakefield player down. Is it Lino? Looks in all sorts of trouble. It might be Cozza, actually. He's working his way back.
Ball steal.
A ball steal from Wakefield. So a chance here for Trinity. Look at the line speed off Knowles, but he doesn't get to Hall, and Hall sidesteps his way through.
There's a Wakefield player down in all sorts of trouble in backfield.
Yeah, I think the referee's going to stop play here, I think. Well, no, he's just going to say go back and play it, but there is a Wakefield player down. Liam Moore's just having a look. Let's have a look at this ball then, how it was turned over. And there it is, Percival. Has his pocket picked.
Yeah, and you can see in the background it's Fartilli who's receiving attention. He's grabbing at a shoulder, fell awkwardly. Whether it's a nerve issue up in the shoulder, neck area, he's reaching behind him. Yeah, just landed awkwardly, made contact and then landed in a funny position. Kais Fartilli, another one who's had a fantastic start to life in Super League, signed in the close season, brought across Steve Mills and the recruitment team here at Wakefield, done such a terrific job. And Kais Fartilli will leave the field for a head injury assessment.
Yeah, that's how we think it happened. Let's have a look. Percival.
Yeah, he just caught his head in an awkward position, didn't he? Against Darrell Clark's body, missed Percival. Fell awkwardly.
He'll leave the field, sporting his new haircut that he had cut for charity, of course, a couple of weeks ago. What is scoring our other game tonight? And Wigan just in front on Sky Sports Action. Warrington 12, Wigan 16. Liam Farrell with the latest try for Wigan. Here's Lino, gets it away to Vanganar. He's wrapped up. 25 out from the line. Wakefield getting desperate now. 14 remaining. He's going to take something spectacular from here. Pitts with a short pass. Staunton no way through. This Saints defence is something else at the moment. Ball here now with a Tony. Gets it to Truman. Short pass. But Saints again deal with the danger. We've got to talk, you mentioned it, there's numbers at the start, the points they're not conceding. Look, there's been a lot of talk about their attack. They've shown tonight in patches they can get it right. If they can defend like this in the playoffs, they're going to be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, look, the last 3 winners of the NRL Grand Final and the Super League Grand Final are teams that have gone through the season with an average conceded points of around 12 or 13 a game. Saints are currently operating at 10. And that gives you an idea of just where they are defensively. That's something that will take you all the way to the big dance.
Quite possibly, Wakefield's first job is to get in the top 6. They may lose their spot in the 6 over the weekend. Hull take on Salford on Sunday. And I think given the happenings at Salford over the last week, it's going to take something pretty spectacular to go wrong there for Hull. Jowett collects and will bring it forward. And time now, the big enemy, as well as the scoreboard of Wakefield. They're going to try and move it wide over on the far side. It's just not quite happened for them. And I guess when the defence is so good as well, it magnifies those errors, doesn't it?
I think that's a really important point. They've not been allowed to. They've not been offered any space or time. And this is a Wakefield side that has shown a number of occasions this season they don't need an awful lot of it. Well, I've been super impressed with the line speed and the connectivity of this St Helens defence. They've looked really comfortable, haven't they? I think it's probably the best compliment you can pay to a side when in defence. They look comfortable.
Yeah, they do. Here's Hall, got more involved second half, gets it away to Hood. Hood with a little sidestep, but he's wrapped up by Delaney. Last one here for Wakefield. They might need a Saints error. Will it come from this kick? Saylor comes racing forward, catches it on the full. He's always looking to go forward, isn't he? And he's wrapped up 30 out.
Such a well-balanced athlete, isn't he, Tristan Saylor?
Where's he going to play when Welsby's fit?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because you would imagine someone with a stock of Welsby, the runs on the board, the credit in the bank, he would slot straight back in at fullback. But then you've got an option there with Moses and Bay, who could maybe revert to the 14 position, spell Darryl Clark, Welsby into the halves. Look, Paul Wellens has got the right type of headache, as we mentioned in the first half, coming up.
That's the problem you want coming into the latter part of the season. You've got all your big guns back and firing. Then you're a shout. Here's Lomax, short pass. This time it's Wakefield who hang on. Ball now works its way to Mbai. Mbai on the last, under pressure, kicks left-footed. Who's going to go for this? Well, Saints come up with it, but this time Wakefield do manage to stop Saylor. And that'll be the turnover.
And whilst their attack at times this season has lacked the usual kind of fluency and menace that it does with a St Helens side, given their extremely high standards, what I think they have done really well is completed sets. Moses and Bay, particularly, he's on an extended spell now in the halves. Moses and Bay's kicking game, it has been remarkably consistent. It's not always in the right areas of the field, but crucially, they are getting to the ends of sets and are turning opposition sides over well inside their own half.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. Moses and Bay, short pass here to Vanganar. Not seen him get too much joy tonight. Darryl Powell speaking to Danny Kermond. What a servant he's been to Wakefield. Here's a better move. Oh, better move, and it's picked up, and this is it. Game over here. You're not stopping Kyle Felt, who saunters towards the post. And this will do it for Saints. He chucks the ball into the north stand. And St Helens are going to leap above Leeds into the top 4. But they close the gap on those above them. Saints are still very much in the picture for a home semi-final. Paul Welland's team have come here and done a job on Wakefield, and maybe a sign of the night. Wakefield's attack doesn't fire, Saints pounce and score points.
Yeah, that's encapsulated the entire game, hasn't it? Pressure from the defence, a spooked attack that has misfired, and then St Helens ruthless and capitalising on that mistake. Carl Fell with his try, and the defence is not at any moment during this game as this Saints defence looked stressed, looked stretched, looked in trouble, looked in danger. Looks like a very, very well-oiled machine. Wakefield have asked some questions, but we'll dig up the buzzword of the year, incredibly clunky Wakefield in attack.
Yeah, not quite happened, but Saints won't worry about that. They've shown tonight they're getting ready for the run-in. Well, they've got some big tests coming up for them.
Stands off.
They've got Huddersfield and Hull up next, both at home. Then they've got Hull KR, Wigan and Lee before ending the season with Castleford at home.
There's a 3-match period there, isn't there? You know, that is playoff game after playoff game after playoff game, essentially. You get the feeling that'll determine the positions, who finish in that top 3 or 4 positions in the table.
Felt's goal is a good one, converts his own try, and it is now a matter of how many for Saints. 30 points to 4, and that first half, the opening 25 minutes, really has put this game beyond Wakefield's reach.
Yeah, and look, a real step forward for Saints this evening. A step back for Wakefield. But this next 5 or 6 weeks is going to be so interesting. Right across Super League, so many stories, so many subplots going on.
And now the short restart goes the way of Saints. It's just not been Wakefield's night tonight. Kyle Felt, the try scorer, didn't appreciate the challenge that came in on him as he fell on that loose ball. And now it's just boiling up here. I think the referee is having a word with Kyle Felt. Now, what's happening here? Well, have a look at something here, the referee. Felt is not happy at all. Dissent penalty.
Yeah, he was having a real go at the touches. I think he felt like he was given a bit of a roughing up on the ground after he took the attempted short kick off from Wakefield, but it's a minor blot on the copybook for St Helens, who have been so efficient.
Stand one, hold.
Is can they get a consolation? Hood gets it away to Truman. Another juggle. And again, it's not quite going to hand for Wakefield. But Saints are making everything difficult here. That's a better carry from Trinity. Antonio again's gone well. Wants to get a quick play of the ball. He doesn't quite manage that. Here's Truman. Truman gets it to Lino, but there's Moses and Bai. Great defence. They enjoy defending. Quite clearly they do. They love it. Here now is Hood. Last tackle, got to find a pass. Finds Staunton, who's just carried it in. And once again, Saints hold firm, and it's their fans you can hear singing here.
Well, that's just a concession by Matty Staunton. Knew it was the 5th tackle. Just decided that's where he was going to turn it over. Didn't have the appetite to challenge anywhere else. Yeah, I've been super impressed with Saints tonight, Mark. I think they've come in. It's a difficult ground to come to. There's a lot of energy, a lot of talk. Big stories, Wakefield rejoining Super League, and just how well they've done, just how difficult they are to play at this ground. And it has been a super professional, super ruthless performance by St Helens.
Yeah, even when they made those couple of errors start of the second half, they found a way to defend it. Here's Knowles again.
Oh, this man's just incredible. And you mentioned earlier how they're going to replace him. Well, the simple answer is they can't. They've got to try and rebuild him in the aggregate. There's going to be 3 or 4 players who are going to have to step up and do a little bit more, because I don't think there's any replacing that man.
Oh, Robertson dragged into touch. A small win for Wakefield at the end of a tough night. Last 5 minutes here. Well, we saw Leeds get a big win for them last night. St Helens have responded tonight. Leaders Hull Kingston Rovers take on Castleford tomorrow. There's some massive games. Got that battle at the Brick to come next weekend as well. Look, the top 2 is still up for grabs, isn't it? It's still there.
Release it now.
But who can keep and close that gap? Paul Wellens will be delighted with what he's seen tonight, and why wouldn't he be? His side, attack-wise, were near perfect first 40 minutes.
Look at the line speed. We're in the 77th minute. The line speed's phenomenal.
It is. Here now is Lino, gets it away to Truman, finds Jowett, gets it away, Pratt almost through. But even when they look like they're going to break the line, there's always someone there in blue to close the gap. Ball here now finds Truman. Truman short to Staunton. Staunton racked up 30 away from the line. Last one here. Ball now with Pitts, gets it away to Truman. Ball on the ground, bounces up. Robertson with a tackle, and it's another last tackle turnover from Wakefield.
Yeah, it's so frustrating from Wakefield's perspective. The amount of balls that had to be reached for, bobbled, juggled.
Final few minutes then here. We'll have all the reaction to follow as well. Here from our player of the match and from the two coaching caps respectively as well. All out wide here to Mbai. Finds Sailor, always a threat. Bumps off one, goes again. Has support with Lomax. Lomax gets away from Pitts. Danger here from every angle. Parsi with a great offload finds Robertson. Robertson's got support, might not need it. Oh, gets a pass away to Burns, who's tackled 10 out. Champagne stuff from Saints here. Are they about to add? They get a set restart. Might be irrelevant anyway. They're going to that far side. Ball over the top, and there's Felt. Another try for St Helens. They have been outstanding tonight. Absolutely outstanding. And they have ripped apart a side inside the top six. And they have done it with a minimum of fuss. They lead by 34 points to 30.
Yeah, and a little flourish to finish off with. It was a game and a victory that's been built around their defence, their intensity of the line speed, doing the simple things very, very well and repeating them again and again. And it sounds easy. It is easy in theory. In practice, much more difficult. And you've got to pay a massive amount of credit to this group, this unit, who are all on the same page. The fitness levels must be through the roof, Mark. I mean, some of the line speed we've seen here, deep into the second half. And this would have, I'll tell you what, you would have just stopped the voting there and then. This would have been try of the season if this had come off. The offload from Harry Robertson at the end of this passage was pretty sensational. Jake Burns just hauled down, but it delayed the inevitable, didn't it? The switch out to the right-hand side into the hands of the coolest man in the ground, Johnny Lomax, who just weighs up the opposition, fires out the cut-out ball, and Kyle Felt crosses for his second. 2 second-half tries for the winger. He just improves the angle a little bit because he's the one who's got to convert this.
Yeah, Felt looking to add another 2. To pour a little bit of salt into the Wakefield wounds. 5 from 6 tonight. A couple of tries as well for him. And he strikes this one towards the post, and it's waved away. Surprising that, thought he might have got that one. 34-4 though, and not much of a rush to get the game restarted for Wakefield, who've had enough. They've been well and truly beaten tonight.
Yeah, look, 34-4, a 30-point winning margin looks and feels about right, doesn't it, from what we've seen, what we've experienced this evening. Outclassed Wakefield on this occasion. They will fight for another day, and they will have a say, I am sure, in what happens over the next 6 weeks, where they end up in that pile, whether it is in the 6 or desperately looking in from the outside. The story of their season's not finished, but tonight is well and truly about St Helens. First-class performance.
Yeah, it has. Lot to like. And this defensive ability is now being backed up by some attacking thrust as well. Here they go. Is there one more left in this Saints side? Robertson hurls it back inside. It goes to Wakefield. Just about the only thing. And there goes the hooter. And it is St Helens night tonight. No joy for Wakefield, but plenty to enjoy for those of a St Helens persuasion. Wormsley and Knowles got them off to a flying start inside the opening 13 minutes. Then Darrell Clark marked his 400th career appearance with a try. It was 20 points to nil. Lachlan Walmsley scored on the one time that Wakefield's attack did fire in that first half, but tries second half from Robertson and a double for Kyle Fell. Mean that Saints win by 30 and they jump into the top 4. Big night for Darrell Clark. He'll remember that as well, his 400th career game. The St Helens have won here by 34 points to 4. Saints closing in on the top 2, and those top 2 meet next weekend in the Battle at the Brick.